Hello, everybody, and welcome to the best podcast in the entire universe, aka Podcast Period. If you think you've stumbled into a different podcast, then you're absolutely wrong. We are at the same time the best and also the worst podcast on the internet. So, yeah, that's where we're at. My name is Ben, and with me today is my co-host David.
There was so many interruptions in that, and so many long pauses that I didn't know if you were going to finish your thought, because I was about to.
And that's it. It's just me and David this week. So we've got, I don't know what David has to talk about, but I've got a couple discussion topics and one interesting little news topic. It's not we haven't talked about it before in the show, but it's something that was very much on everybody's minds like a couple years ago, and I just saw it pop up in my news feed earlier, so I figured I'd talk about it. And that is that one of the former Equifax executives gets 4 months in prison after he was convicted for insider trading. This was Jun Ying. He was the former chief information officer for the company's U.S. Information Solutions. So he's got, what was it? 4 months in prison. He's got to pay $117,000 in restitution plus a $155,000 fine, which doesn't even come close to how much that he made for selling off all of his stock, but still, it's something, I guess. It's not even close to what this other guy had to do. There was another guy that they talked about. I'm gonna butcher this name, so sorry for anybody who knows how to pronounce this name. It's Sudhakar Reddy Bonthu. He was a software development manager at Equifax, and he made $75,000 for after selling his stock because of the insider trading. So not only did he have to serve 8 months, it was 8 months home confinement, but 8 months. He had to pay a $50,000 fine plus pay back everything that he made from the sale of his stock. So it's not anything close to what they should have gotten for, the massive data breach a couple of years ago. But still, it's something. It's better than nothing, I guess. I hate to say that, but it's true.
I had actually forgotten all about that.
Equifax?
Until you just started mentioning it. It's like, okay, and now I know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that in probably a good year or so after they stopped talking about it a whole lot in the news. But yeah, he's getting some prison time, some fines, nothing close to what he should have gotten, but that's the American justice system, folks. Punishing people who don't need it and not punishing people enough who do.
Yeah, there's a lot of that goes around.
Yeah. Anyway, what you got, boyo?
Oh, I've got a couple of different things that may or may not carry over very well. Mostly because they're not official launches yet, but
they're just rumors.
They're rumors, but it's like 2 days away from what we're recording. From when we're recording, not the embargoes lift and stuff. So definitely by the time the episode is published, we'll know for sure whether or not this is true or false information. But 2 days away, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be at least 90% right. Maybe even 100% right at this point. I mean,
yeah,
you can't keep secrets for that long. But there's a 20 series refresh from nvidia coming out. They're calling it the Supers.
Didn't the 20 series just come out like last year?
Yes.
They waited 3 years to come out with something after the 10 series, and now they're already doing a 20 series refresh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Has that been selling that badly?
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I think what it comes down to is the new or upcoming Radeon launches. The 5700 and 5700T or whatever it is that are supposed to be launching 5 days after these Supers are supposedly coming out. So the embargo lifts is supposed to be up on July 2nd for the NVIDIA 20 series refresh, the Supers.
Mm-hmm.
AMD's already said that the cards from them are coming out July 7th with the rest of their Ryzen 3000 series Zen 2 CPUs. So, almost all of them. There's one of them being held back. The 3950X is not launching. That's their 16-core CPU. But the rest of their
replacing the current Threadripper.
Yeah. Which Threadripper may or may not be dead. They keep going back and forth on the rumor mill on that one, whether or not there's going to be a Threadripper this generation because of that 16-core monster.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what kind of form factor. I mean, if the 16-core chip is the same form factor as all the other Ryzen chips, then I don't see any reason where was I going with this? Oh my god, I just had a brain fart.
Why they would need that?
Yeah, exactly. Why? Well, not that. If it's the same form factor as the rest of the Ryzen chips, then they I mean, you know how big Threadripper is. They could easily double what they have in there now if it's the same form factor as the Ryzen chips.
Okay, I gotcha. How the chiplet design works out, and the fact that they doubled the cores on their not low end, but their regular consumer grade chips. They could probably do the same for Threadripper.
I would think so, but I honestly don't know if there would be that big of a market for it, honestly. I mean, there's never going to be a huge market for any sort of enthusiast grade CPUs because it's just out of the price range for most people. But I genuinely don't know if there's anybody that's going to be like, I really need this 32-core CPU for my video renders or whatever.
I don't know if I see it either. If they didn't already want Threadripper at the 16-core model that was already out and take advantage, because the only advantage that it's going to have now is the fact that it supports quad-channel RAM. That's about it. And the PCI lanes coming direct from the CPU instead of having to worry about a chipset. If you didn't already need it on the previous generation, then you're probably not going to need it now.
No.
If you didn't need that type of hardware and you didn't need that type of platform, because that's all it's going to be now is a platform difference. Because, I mean, you got the cores, you've got the clock speed advantages now, you got the IPC improvements over last gen. If you didn't need the platform, then you didn't need the platform.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the only reason why I could see somebody going like, well, maybe I do want to upgrade to this next-gen Threadripper, if there is one, just because of the clock speed improvements and the IPC improvements. But I don't know if those are going to be big enough for somebody who's already spent, $900 on this Threadripper CPU to be like, well, maybe I do need another $900 CPU 2 years down the line or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what, if anything, AMD announces as far as that goes.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the Supers, because we kind of got off on a small tangent there. They're supposed to be, at least as the rumor mill goes right now, by the time this is out. We'll have definite confirmation. There's right now a 2060, 2070, and 2080 Super. There's supposedly supposed to be a TI version later. Basically, how it stacks up is the Super version is equivalent to whatever is higher this generation. So if it's the 2060 Super,
2060
it's replacing the
2070.
Exactly. The 2070 Super is the 2080, and then the 2080 Super should be the 2080 Ti equivalent. They're supposed to be launching at near launch prices for the original versions, with the exception of the 2060, because the 2060 is supposed to be about $50 more. The Super version is going to be about $50 more than what the regular version launched at, but that's because they're upping to 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 versus the 6 that the
on
2060 got. Yeah, so the 2060 Super is getting 8, which puts it right in line with everything else. And it's ditching the 6 that the 2060 regular version got. I think they should call it the Super 2060 and the Super 2070 to be a little bit easier on the tongue. Maybe,
yeah.
But whatever. The point being, there's a new refresh. There's not really much else to it.
I'm just hearing that. I'm kind of skeptical on how accurate that's going to be, though, because, like I said, they've only had a year to be between the first 2000 series launch and then this refresh. So maybe they pulled off some kind of engineering miracle.
I don't think it's anything different architecturally. I think they honestly just upped the CUDA cores. That's what it looks like they did.
That's it?
Because and they did some RT core, I think, and Tensor core improvements as well. But like the regular 2060 is supposed to have 1920 CUDA cores. The Super version is supposed to be 2176. So it got about 250, give or take, which by the math puts it lower than a 2070 at 2304. So about 120, 130 CUDA cores less than the card it's supposedly replacing. But I also think there's a little bit of clock speed improvement too.
Okay.
So between CUDA core increases and faster clocks, I think that accounts for everything. I don't think there's any improvement as far as what it can do base for base.
I don't know. I'm still a little bit skeptical, but we'll see on what is it, Tuesday or whatever?
That's when the embargoes are supposed to lift. So we'll see. Like I said, it'll all be out by the time this podcast is up. But for right now, it supposedly is an increase across the line all the way up. It replaces whatever was above it for the same price, with the exception of the 2060, because they kicked it up.
Speaking of skeptical, we're going to talk about whether or not, and our feelings on maybe like everything in pop culture and whether or not it's actually real. I want to talk about, David, do you think that there is life out there somewhere else? Whether that be, I mean, I know we found like bacteria on other planets or whatnot.
Yeah.
But, I'm talking about like intelligent life. Yes, exactly. Like do you think there's a little green man out there somewhere, David?
See, we agree on so many things, and we think alike on so many things. I've always wondered how you felt about this.
See, here's my thinking. I think that it's definitely a possibility.
It has to be a possibility.
But as far as have we been like visited or whatever, I don't. I think that's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't believe in like the conspiracy. Like, okay, you can't deny Area 51's a thing.
Yeah, no, they've said it's a thing. Whether or not it's
but do they have alien bodies
for aliens?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
have
a completely different discussion. Yeah.
Because there's absolutely too much out there now as far as recording and surveillance and technology and people. There's just too much for it to have gone quote unquote quiet since the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I mean there have been like pictures on Twitter or whatever that even I've seen of like these weird lights that were over New York or something like that a while ago.
But very hard to explain, and I know.
Yes, and you could go with the stereotypical explanation of it's swamp gas, everybody's hallucinating or whatever. But it just seems too convenient for that to be the case.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, I'm not saying that we've been visited or anything like that. I think that there is a possibility that something's out there. God only knows. But do we have aliens in disguise? Do we have a department like the Men in Black or whatever where there's like a freaking alien airport?
Uh-huh.
No, we do not.
Okay.
And unless some little green man comes in my window right now to just prove me wrong, that's what I'm going to keep believing. But it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
As long as I'm down for whatever. If aliens do ever happen to come here, as long as they're not like the alien from Aliens, I ain't about that.
Or
Predator,
or like Independence Day, or any other where it just goes horribly wrong.
Any other hostile alien race. Y'all can just stay away. I'm good without that.
I'm with you.
and the especially the roach guy from the original Men in Black. Nope.
No.
That was gross. That was nasty. I don't know if there's really much else to say about that. At least as far as my opinion goes. I think we agree that we both agree that there's something.
I mean,
but
I want to find something one day where it's just totally brought up randomly like this. Because we didn't plan this. He told me he was going to ask about it. But that was literally like 5 minutes before we started recording. So we had no idea or no way to sync what we were going to say or anything like that. And yet we agreed. I want to find something where we are the polar opposites on, but it's not happened yet.
We'll find it someday. I know we will. All right. What else do you have?
All right. So we talked about the supers, which, you guys will have more information by the time this is out than what we have now. So do what you will with that. Something that kind of interested me a little bit, because Tesla's kind of been somewhat in the news because starting tomorrow, actually, they're supposed to be raising the prices a little bit, like maybe 2-3% for all their models, including the 3. And they're doing, I think they're even doing like $1,000 just to have black paint. Which is not unheard of in the car company industry. Like, sometimes reds and other colors like that, they'll do a surcharge for that. But they're charging $1,000 just to have black freaking paint. So I came across this article where BMW's got like a new all-electric version of one of their previously... It's not a previous vehicle that they're doing, but they're basing it off the same setup and stuff. So it's not a new redesign or anything like that of a completely new design from a platform standpoint up. But they are doing an electric version vehicle. It's going to be a fully electric sports sedan that's only supposed to be like $50,000, which isn't that much more than a Tesla Model 3.
Wow.
And this is coming from a sports car, well known, all the engineering kinks, fully fledged out automotive maker that doesn't have these industry issues that I talked about a few episodes ago where they've got body gap panels coming off that aren't correct on both sides, and paint defects and stuff like that. This is coming from a fully fledged automotive maker, and they're doing this for only like $50,000, and it's a sports car. It's supposed to be coming out.
If they don't have to redesign something from the ground up as far as like the body goes, I mean, I'm sure that's where a majority of the time and money goes.
Yeah.
In a new car design. So if they're just taking an existing chassis like the 3 Series or whatever and sticking an electric motor in there with a bunch of batteries, then then I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
It saves a lot of R&D cost on that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be the BMW i4. They're supposed to get... It's looking like it's going to be about 350 miles between charge-ups with 0 to 60 times in a low 4-second, maybe high 3-second range. It's supposed to be coming out maybe around 2021. It's supposed to be a 2022 model. So we'll see how that goes. It's set on the same platform as their 3 and 4 Series now, so that's where they're saving platform cost and stuff. Yeah, but they're just going to make it fully electric, so we'll see.
More power to them. We'll see if it works out.
Exactly.
If they can give Tesla a run for their money as far as the quality goes, then
I think that's where the big thing is going to be here, is the quality step up.
Well, yeah, because Tesla is what, like 10, 15 years old maybe, and BMW is probably a good 60, 70, 80 years old at this point.
It may be close to 100 at this point. Who knows?
Yeah. I know BMW was around in World War II. Don't know if it was around before that, but then again, I'm not like a BMW history expert or anything, so whatever.
Yeah, ain't that big of a deal.
Okay, so my other discussion topic that I brought was I wanted to talk about listening to music nowadays, and maybe we can branch out into other things like watching movies or whatever. But what do you think about how we do things now versus how we listen to music, say, like even 10 years ago? Well, what is this year? 2019? Maybe 15 years ago.
15, maybe closer to 20, but
yeah,
same difference.
I'd say 15. I'd say 15 years ago. It was probably. I know I bought CDs after that, but that's definitely. It was definitely towards the end of CD buying for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're marking this right before like iPod comes out, so.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really change much until about then anyways. That's what kind of kicked it off, so. Yeah, 15-ish years.
Yeah, so what do you think? What do you like more? Did you like going to like a store and seeing a CD, or do you like how it is now where you can just pull up an app on your phone and listen to whatever you want to for a flat rate?
As far as quality goes, some people say there's absolutely nothing better than even vinyl, which I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe modern day vinyl setups and stuff like that. Okay, maybe. I don't think so.
I'm of the mindset where I don't think vinyl is going to sound better, but I think it would be cool if I could get like a decent record player and like get like maybe some like even some modern albums on a vinyl that I could just throw on for like a party or something like that. That would be cool. Now, am I going to lug that record player around with a battery pack or something and listen to it on the bus? No.
Exactly.
No, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to pull out my phone and pull out Spotify.
So, I mean, as far as quality goes, okay, there might be an argument there. As far as convenience goes, kids today don't know. I didn't do it, but I knew how to do it, and I remember looking through these old mixtapes of freaking cassettes and just thinking about having to create audio like that and then try to like old school jank burn CDs. Like, not even getting, like, MP3 files off the internet or something, but, like, trying to record from, like, a streaming service or something so that you could take this and make it a portable mixtape on a CD or something. That stuff's for the birds. I'm sorry. It is too easy to just pull it up on your phone, have everything there, not have to have this big freaking 7-inch book in your car of different ripped CDs for all the freaking road trips you could possibly take. I would have shot myself if we had done that on our road trip. I really would have. Like, no, we're not doing this.
We wouldn't have been able to listen to that audiobook that we had if I mean, I guess I could have gotten it on CD or whatever, but I don't even think they make them on CD anymore.
Yeah,
for most of them.
No.
I liked buying CDs. I thought it was cool to get a CD when I was at like the store or whatever, and my parents bought one for me that I really liked. But
see, I never bought any, so I don't have that perspective, I guess.
You never bought a CD?
I
really?
mean, the extent of my CD collection may have been like 3 or 4. Truly and honestly,
that was it?
As far as like loving music, I always loved music and I always listened to songs on the radio. I didn't have CDs in the car, that's for sure.
No, I had literally the entire CD collection up until, let me see, maybe 1 or 2 albums ago. I've had you listen to Switchfoot before, right?
Yeah, and that was on a CD.
I had from their first album all the way up until maybe 1 or 2 albums ago, I have all of them on CD.
Yeah. See, I never got into it.
It's partially because, like, a little while ago, I didn't have Spotify or anything like that. And so it was just easier for me to get a CD and rip it and put it on my MP3 player. But once I got an iPod, and now once I had got my phone, now I just use Spotify. And nothing can compare to that, especially once you have service. Because you could just listen to whatever the heck you want to. And I think Spotify has done wonders as far as artist discoverability goes, because there's plenty of people that I wouldn't listen to if it hadn't been for like the Discover feature on Spotify.
I gotcha. See, I don't know other ways of doing it like you have, as far as like branching out and listening to other things besides. Because I don't really use Google Play Music online enough to do that stuff. I don't know if they have as good as an algorithm or anything like that as far as recommending different artists and stuff like Spotify does.
That's why I like Spotify. I mean, I picked it because I wanted to listen to specific people and I wanted to download the music so I could listen to it without cell service. But now that I've got unlimited data and whatnot, it's nice to like if I'm at work or something and I get something recommended in my YouTube feed from like that, because that's how I told you. Remember that one guy, Big Heath, that we were listening to?
Yes.
Yeah, I found one of his songs via recommended on YouTube, and then I started listening to all of his other stuff. It's great. I really, really enjoy it. But like it wouldn't happen like that if it wasn't for platforms like Spotify and like YouTube.
Yeah,
where they've got
totally.
like such crazy algorithms that they just recommend you stuff. And I wouldn't have never found this guy if I hadn't started listening to Post Malone. I don't even know why it recommended it to me, because this was with like the blank podcast period YouTube page. I got all like the recommended stuff just from whatever, I guess.
Maybe it was trending that day or something. I had no idea.
It may have been. But it recommended me a Post Malone song, and it's one that I'd heard before. Like, it's not like I hadn't listened to Post Malone ever, but it I don't know. I liked it, and so I pulled up his artist page on Spotify like the next day when I was driving to work, and I just listened to all of his popular stuff. I gotta say, I enjoy it. I enjoy that a lot.
Also,
So,
easy
I don't
to
know.
branch out and get you something. It's very easy to get to something different.
Yeah,
if you're tired of what you've got, because you can't do that you couldn't do that with CDs and all that stuff. You want something different, you're gonna have to get home and find it. You can do it on the fly now.
So far, unfortunately, their Discovery playlist for me hasn't really been that good, but I'm still trying to purge out. I'm still playing nursery songs for Grayson, so that doesn't help either. But when Nicole was falling asleep, because you know I snore awfully, and she was having, when we were first married, this is to the audience, obviously, when we were first married, she was having trouble falling asleep. So I gave her my old iPod with Spotify downloaded onto it, and me still signed in, and she just listened to this one Rain songs, this one Rain thing over and over and over again all night on repeat. So much so that when at the end of last year, when I got the little Spotify roundup that they do, my most listened to song was that for literally 1,000 hours. So after that, I signed myself out of that and made her sign into her own one because we have a family plan. So I'm still trying to work that out of there, but it's getting there. It'll get there eventually. They just haven't hit me with something that I'm like, wow, that was really good. I want to listen to more. So far, anyway. We'll see. So yeah, do you have any other thoughts as far as that goes?
As far as that goes, not really. I do think that there needs to be, because okay, you brought it up with Nicole listening to that particular song. There does need to be ways to force out some of the older things that you may not be. That okay, your listening tastes change after a while. Force that kind of stuff out and say no, bury this. Because I still get stuff all the time like that I was like, no, I'm tired of this. I don't want to listen to this anymore. I'm so tired of this. Just stop.
But there's I mean, with the Rain sounds thing, that would obviously be something that I want to get rid of. But there's some things where it's like, I'm tired of listening to this right now. I don't want to get rid of it forever.
Yeah, and there should be a way to. Some of them could do a better job of saying, bury this for now. But don't bury it. Just have it on a lower callback frequency or whatever.
Yeah.
A lower repeat setting or something where it comes up once every month or 2 months for, say, I want to snooze this track for a 6-month period or something like that.
There you go. Yeah.
They need to have more features like that.
Today's episode of Podcast Period is sponsored by, well, you. We've recently started a Patreon to help offset some of the costs of running the podcast, and you can be a part of it for as little as $1 a month. We have an exclusive Discord server, community events, a Minecraft server, and you can access episodes early as well. If you want to help out the show by throwing some money our way, just head to patreon.com/podcastperiod. Again, that's patreon.com/podcastperiod. Now back to the show. All right, what do you got next?
Alrighty, so the next and final thing on my list, very, very interesting considering who it came from. There was an internal memo at Intel that basically acknowledged AMD's threat and competition for the first time in the last 10 years. Their own internal memos are commending AMD and their success and saying that this is actual competition.
Wow.
That
is big from Intel. Oh my god.
I know. I couldn't believe this. It's supposed to be an internal one, so I don't know if they gave higher praise on the off chance that somebody leaks this and it gets to the press, and they were just trying to be nice about it, or if there's actual shuddering in their boots type stuff. But that was just amazing that came from them. their CEO, Bob Swan, had reminded employees that our ambitions are as big as they ever been. And that they're supposed to be focusing on a transformation to be a customer-obsessed company where they deliver the best partnerships in the industry and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But they're basically just acknowledging AMD's huge wins, giving them a formidable. Basically, yes, thank you. God, couldn't say it. Competitor, noting that they had a second year of like greater than 20% annual growth. And I'm sure it's all related to the Ryzen 3000 series leaks and stuff coming out. Basically saying they caught up in IPCs or may even be ahead of them. And, I mean, the core clock advantage is...
It's been a long time coming.
It really has. I think I lost you, though.
No, we're back. Hello?
Oh, well, I guess it's back. It's not me, it's the internet for sure.
This is very good. Hello?
It's cutting out so much.
This is awful. I don't know what it's doing. Is it good now?
It's good for right now.
Okay.
I heard something about it's been a long time, and then I was like, I don't know
what
you're saying.
Anyway. It's been a long time coming that AMD. I mean, especially I thought that they would have. I think they caught up like customer appreciation wise when they first released Ryzen, but it's good that Intel is acknowledging that they've become a greater force than even that with the Ryzen 3000 launch. So. We'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful that everything is as good, if not better, than what they're saying. But I mean, there's always going to be some marketing BS.
Yes, and they cherry-picked results, and there's many things in their presentation deck.
Yeah, but the thing is, everybody does that. I'm
expecting they all do it. So I'm not mad at them for doing it. But there were some things in that presentation deck that they had at E3 that were total and utter garbage. Like trying to stream solely from the CPU and not even taking advantage of any type of GPU encoding or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Nobody does that. I'm sorry.
There's probably some crazy people that do it, but I don't do it. No, thank you.
Only idiots. But that's
anyway.
It. Intel acknowledges in an internal memo that AMD is kicking ass. Basically how
that's
it went.
Good. All right. Well, then I didn't have any other discussion topics, so we're going to close it off with, I don't think we've done this in like 3 or 4 episodes, but we're continuing with Katana. So I don't even remember like where we left off, if I'm being completely honest.
6, 7...
Oh, no, I know what chapter we did.
Oh.
I've got the right chapters pulled up. I just can't remember where in the story we were, so... I'm confused, David's confused, everybody's going to be confused unless you want to go back to the last time that we read this and...
You confused me many, many times before that. I'm lost.
So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So this is Katana, Chapter 8. What are we looking for? Brutus asked. Sean and Brutus were standing on a rooftop while Sean was scanning the skyline with binoculars. I heard Katana is planning to rob an arms factory, Sean said. Don't they already have arms, Brutus said. Not those arms. Arms as in weapons, Sean said. Oh, now it all makes sense. What kind of weapons? Brutus asked. Sonic weapons. They can kill anyone from a minimum range of 1,000 feet. Sean replied. So we want to stop these quickly, Brutus said. Exactly. Sean wasn't surprised when a group of hooded figures popped out of nowhere onto the rooftops. There they are, Sean said. They secured the rope onto an air conditioning unit and rappelled down the side of a building. Do you know where they're going? Brutus said. Of course I do, Sean said. Then why didn't we just wait there? Brutus asked. I had to make sure the tip was true. I can't trust the people who give me these tips, Sean said. They climbed onto their motorcycles, and Sean yelled, "Followed me." They geared up the bikes and zoomed towards the factory. A few minutes later, they reached the factory. Sean could hear a gunshot ring out, and then a man screaming, "Get down, all of you, on the ground now." He then heard another voice, tinged with fear, ask, "What do you want with us? We have no money." "Money? Who said anything about money? We want the weapons," the man said. Seconds later, another gunshot was heard, along with a host of gasps. Don't try anything else, or you will all suffer the same fate he did." Sean had had enough. He kicked the door open to find about 30 people lying face down on a dirty concrete floor, along with 10 men with guns, obviously the ones demanding the weapons. "Ah, we've been waiting for you. Smoke 'em!" All the men pointed their guns at either Sean or Brutus and opened fire. The two quickly ducked behind a nearby column. "We'll split them in half. I'll take 5, you take 5. Got it?" Sean said. "Yeah," Brutus replied. "Good," Sean said. Sean then turned and climbed around the column towards the roof scaffolding. Brutus, however, preferred a more direct approach. He jumped out from behind the column and began running towards one of the men. Before the man could fire, he swiped at his chest with one of his knives and kicked him. He looked up at one of the men who had his gun up and a very satisfied look on his face. "You're going to die, little man," he said. Suddenly, the man fell with a throwing knife, and a throwing knife could be seen sticking out of his back. All attention, except Brutus's, was directed towards the roof. "The other one's up there," one of them said. "Kill him!" Brutus took advantage of their momentary distraction by cutting another one down. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Sean jump down on one of the men and slide his katana smoothly in and out of the man's chest. Another charged at Brutus, and he stuck his knives into the man's chest and threw him into another man. He threw one of his knives at the man he had knocked down. It stuck into his abdomen. He looked to see Sean break another's neck. Huh. Sean wasn't surprised the fight was going this well. There were only 3 men left, and he had hardly broken a sweat. He saw one man raise a gun to fire at him. He rolled out of the way and sprung at the man. He and the man fell on the ground, locked into dual bear hugs. Sean managed to break the man's hold on him and jump off, raking his katana across the man's torso. The last 2 got smart and tried working together. As one fired high, the other fired low. Sean, however, was able to avoid the bullets. He got up close and cut one down. The other tried to pistol whip him, but Sean dodged and cut him down as well. The man fell, then reached into his jacket and pulled out a remote. "Have fun," he said. He pressed a button on the remote, and then a loud creaking sound let loose. Sean whirled to face the sound. All the lights turned on. Sean's jaw dropped as he saw a monstrous white robot, at least 20 feet tall, rising from a crouched position on the floor. Sean quickly ran behind a column. "What the heck is that?" Sean thought. Then he heard a sound that reminded him very much of a sword being pulled out of a sheath. He saw a quick flash of silver go through, of all things, the column itself. The column fell apart. "It's time to face this," he thought. He jumped out from behind the remnants of the column. The robot smashed at Sean's position. He rolled out of the way, then jumped and landed on its sword arm. He clambered up to its wrist and thrust the sword into a gap in its armor. He pulled as hard as he could and finally separated its hand from the rest of its arm. He continued his trek up the robot's arm. Sean saw out of the corner of his eye that its other hand had somehow transformed into a gun. The gun followed Sean and then shot. Sean leapt forward and landed next to the robot's neck as the shot went clear through the robot's arm. He ran behind its head and ran his sword into its neck. He brought the sword up and made a huge cut from its neck to the top of its head. The robot tumbled down the floor. Sean jumped off the robot and landed smoothly. He looked up to see the robot's red eyes lose their color. "And that takes care of that," Sean said. He turned around, only to be greeted with the sight of Annie holding a knocked-out Brutus. "Hello, Sean. Ready to die?" she said. A boom. That's Chapter 8. Excuse me. Don't you love it? Was it very good?
Honestly, half of it got cut out, no thanks to Discord, but other than that, yeah, it was good.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it made as much sense as if you heard everything anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things. It's like, I've finally gotten to the point with these katana things to just stop questioning every little thing that you were thinking, because clearly you wasn't.
No,
and just
really
listen to it and see if I can wrap my head around it, and it's just not happening.
No? Okay.
But missing half of it doesn't help either.
No. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately.
No, I can listen to it when it actually comes out and see if it makes sense. I'd have to listen to every single one of these chapters back to back to back. Maybe then I could listen to it and figure it out. But these
it's kind
4
of
weeks in between thing, it don't work.
It's kind of hard to. I mean, it's been longer since we read it. It was before Aaron came on, so it was at least 2 podcasts ago. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get to chapter 9. Annie, Sean glanced down at her right hand, which he himself had cut off. Your hand? How? Sean was cut off by Annie's sudden answer. Project Tiberius. Wonderful thing nanobots are. They can even make me a new hand. Well, that and help me kill you, she said. She raised her new hand and pointed it at Sean. Sean looked at it, waiting for something to happen, when suddenly a gun appeared out of thin air into her hand. Sean was amazed, but not enough to be distracted. As she squeezed off a few rounds, he bobbed and weaved to try to avoid damage. Fortunately, all he got was a glancing shot off his left shoulder. He glanced down at it. Thank God it's only a flesh wound, he thought. He was going to need all of his strength to fight her off. He finally got close enough to where she stopped firing and her hand morphed from a gun into a katana. He brought his sword down on her head, but with deadly speed she blocked it. She then tried to jab her sword into his stomach, but Sean quickly spun out of the way. She tried another vicious stab, but he barely managed to redirect it and kick her away. She flipped to her feet only to find Sean climbing up one of the remaining columns. Oh, no you don't, she said. She turned and found the closest column and began to scale it. When she got up there, however, Sean was waiting for her. She waited for Sean to make his move. A gentleman, eh? That'll cost you. She lunged at him, only to see Sean sidestep and then smile. She barely grabbed onto a scaffolding piece before she fell. She quickly clambered back up, only to have Sean kick her back down onto the concrete. She gracefully rolled to soften the shock of hitting the concrete, but she'd miscalculated and hit her head on the floor. She decided to use this as an advantage over Sean, knowing he would think she was knocked out. Sean jumped down after her, rolling to counter the inevitable shock. Glad that's taken care of, he said. He rolled over to where Brutus lay. Suddenly he felt somebody tackled him, and he was knocked out when his head hit the concrete. Brutus didn't know how long he'd been out, but it had been a while, because he saw that Annie was about to kill Sean, who was on the ground, out cold. He quickly got up, shaking off the pain in his head from where Annie had hit him, and brought his knives to bear. He tried to swing at Annie, but she blocked his blow with ease. A twisted, sadistic grin shone brightly on her face. Brutus tried to twist around her and land a blow, but she ducked and knocked his legs out from under him. She stood over him, smiling with a sick, twisted grin. She was about to land the killing stroke, when he suddenly kicked her away. He got up and ran towards her, knives in hand. He landed a flying kick, but she got up relatively quickly. He thrust forward with his knives, but she rolled behind him and kicked him. He quickly transferred it from fall into a somersault, I should say. Wow. He flipped up to his feet and ran to Annie. Annie, however, didn't step out of the way this time. She blocked then with the hard swing of her sword and knocked the knives out of his hands. She then kicked him away. He landed next to Sean. He tried to spot his knives, but they were nowhere to be seen. He looked over and saw Sean's sword. I swore I would never do this, but here goes, he thought. He swiped the sword and then got up and looked at Annie. A sword, Annie said? You can't hurt me with that. Watch me, Brutus said. He leapt at her, sword in hand. Annie whirled out of the way, but Brutus surprised her by quickly reversing direction. He made a cut on her left shoulder. Did that hurt? Brutus said mockingly. She looked down at the cut, her head still down. She said, You cut me. It will not happen again. She looked at him, her face twisted with rage. She lunged at him, and this time it was Brutus's turn to dodge out of the way. Much anger you have. Let go of it, you must, Brutus said, using his best Yoda impression. You will pay for that, she said. She lunged at him as before, but this time when he dodged and twisted around him. When he dodged, she twisted around him. Without hesitation, she plunged her sword into his back. Brutus stared down at the sword, then slumped forward. Annie kicked his dead body away from her, then headed over towards to Sean. Once she had reached her destination, she raised her sword. But to her surprise, when she brought the sword down, Sean rolled away. He leapt up and tackled her. Why did you kill him? He yelled. He helped you. That's reason enough, she spat. Then you deserve to die. He jumped away from her and scooped up his sword. I, however, am going to at least give you a chance. It's more than you gave him, Sean said. She shakily stood up. You would kill me over him? She said, pointing to Brutus. You ruined my life. That's reason enough, he said, mocking her. If she acknowledged this mockery of her, she didn't show it. Instead, she just stood, wallowing in defeat. What else could she do? Sean had the upper hand. Normally, I wouldn't do something like this, but for you, I'll make an exception, Sean said. He stepped forward and thrust his sword into her abdomen. Meanwhile, Catherine was sitting in a conference room with the Shadow Master. He killed Annie. He is now our prime target. She turned towards the Shadow Master. Get my sword and armor ready. It's time to go hunting. That's it. That's chapter 9. Oh boy. So, did it cut out as much this time?
No, actually it didn't cut out at all.
So you went from a very confusing chapter 8 to a very confusing chapter 9.
Yes. That would be a fair statement.
It's a lot easier to comprehend when you're reading it, but it's just a bunch of words that come spilling out of my mouth when I'm reading it. It's very hard to make sense of. Because there's just a bunch of, like that last chapter, it was man after man after man after man after man. There's no distinction made between any of those people. At least this chapter I only had one other person to keep track of, but didn't really help any. Oh boy.
How many chapters are there again? Like 20? 7?
I think there's 20 flat. Hold on. Let's see. Broop.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, there's 20 complete chapters that we have.
So we're halfway through, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, next time we read this, whether it be next episode or not, we will be halfway through. We'll be a little bit more than halfway through by the time we're done, but yeah. Don't worry, your torture is almost halfway over.
I don't know if that's a comforting thought or not.
Alright. I think that's where we're going to leave this episode, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us this episode. If you're on YouTube, leave us a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Anywhere else, leave us a 5-star rating. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com /podcast period. You can donate as little as $1 a month, and you'll help out the show. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Podcast Period is hosted, produced, and edited by me, Ben, and co-hosted by David. You can find me on Twitter at BenPlaysVidyaS, that's Ben Plays VIDYAS, and David is on Twitter at Car6by16. You can contact the show at Podcast Period on Twitter, or email us at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening.